Louie C. the Mayor checking in. What is going on, my people? Listen, it's on and cracking today. Very busy. So let me tell you what's happening. At 7 o'clock, right after the show, go to WEOW 92.7 FM. We going live from 7 to 9. My main man, DJ Slice, DOS. CO Episcopal checking in. DJ Jack from Marathon. So make sure right after the podcast, you go to WEOW 92.7 and tune in. And also, man, it's a lovely day in paradise. Only in paradise can it rain for 4 minutes and then the sun come out, and then one block is raining cats and dogs and the other block is sunny as hell. Only in Key West. Thank you for FloridaKeysInjury.com for sponsoring the show. Lawyers for all accident in the Keys. If you have an accident on a moped or car, anything that happens accident related, you make sure you go to FloridaKeysInjury.com and they'll take care of you. These local boys at 302 Southern Street, and the #1 doctor in America, Dr. B. Bruce Burroughs, Advanced Urgent Care, Key West Marathon and Key Largo. And the news is breaking right now. Free COVID-19 testing. The government finally came through, insurance or no insurance. You go to any of the Advanced Urgent Cares, they're going to take care of you for free. It's all love. And right now, one of the hardest boys on the street that was definitely out there strong, Key West Conch Baseball, Mr. Billy Spottswood. What is going on, sir? Talk to the people right there. Let them know what's happening.
Nothing much, brother. Good to be with you here today.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming, sir. How's everything with the family? Everybody healthy? How you doing?
Everyone's healthy, man. Fortunate, blessed. You know, it's a beautiful place, beautiful community, going through some tough things, but
gotcha.
I'm following your lead on the glasses, by the way.
So
yeah. You're taking them off. I'm gonna take them off.
You know, I got a little. I go back and forth, a little prescription sometimes.
I gotta keep the cool with you.
Yeah. We gotta make it happen.
Everyone's doing good, man.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. So let me ask you this. First of all, on the podcast, we keep it blood raw out here. So anything we want to talk about, we can make it happen. So first thing is, how we doing with the economy in paradise now during these times? Is a rough time for us. How we doing?
Yeah, you know, I think it's it's tough. It's tough for everybody, you know, and anyone that walks around, anyone that sees, and we all know, we all have friends in that have small businesses, or they work for small businesses, or they work in some capacity with the small business community down here, which is really the heart of, you know, the authentic nature of everything we have. And it's tough, you know. You compare June this year to last year, and it's not even close. It's going to be a tough road, but as you know, we're a tough bunch, so we get through it.
We're going to make it happen.
We'll get through it.
Rain, snow, sleet, shine, Hurricane 5, we going to make it happen. I call this, you know, we're still in the movie. We're almost out of the movie, but not quite yet. I call this a Category 6. There's no books to read. Mm-hmm. You know, we have a little bit in 1918 of the pandemic with the Spanish flu, but no, very few people were around. So let me see who's checking in. We got Victor Lopez checking in. What is going on, sir? Also, I see my man James. We just talking about the Perry out there in Stock Island, checking in. Thank you. Let's get to it. Look, Pamela, I got my mask right over here before you tell me something. It's hard to talk through the podcast, so I'm doing the best I can, following all guidelines. But on the podcast, I got to do what I got to do. I love you. I know you're going to hit me with it. So, Billy, for those people who don't know you from Adam, okay, Can you give them a little history about you and your family? Because, you know, we worldwide around here. And do me a favor, notifications, hit the button right here to make sure that you know when we come on the podcast. And if you're watching YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button right down here. Subscribe to my Louie C. Rock YouTube channel.
Yeah, so my family's been in Key West for a really long time. You know, going back to 1835, John Bartlam came from Green Turtle Cay in the Bahamas, and on the other side, Walter C. Maloney from Georgia. So my kids, I have 3 kids, Brantley, William, and Layton. They're 8th generation, born in Key West. We love this place. You know, it's in our blood. What better place to be to talk about it than here with you, man?
Gotcha. So I heard one of your kids is a YouTube star.
Yeah, my daughter Brantley. You know, she gets after on there. She's got all her videos, all her followers.
Do you know what channel she's on?
I'm going to be in trouble for not knowing it, but
well, if you're on here, let us know so we can give you a plug and we can get. I like to subscribe.
So people can subscribe.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just get into the meats and potatoes. Okay.
Yeah.
So your grandfather basically built Key West almost brick by brick and did a lot of things out here to get us where we at. I mean, and he had the vision to basically, you know, see paradise before it was paradise, and this was all about, you know, seeing the angle. You know, you've been out there on the call baseball fields, 11 state championship. You can see that ball. You know, you got your eye on the prize there. He definitely did it big or whatever. So can you tell some of the people here watching exactly how we got to be where we are today, paradise, due to the Spottswood family and your grandfather?
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't in any way due to our family. You know, I think, you know, we've always been a part of the community, and, you know, my grandfather, I didn't have the opportunity to meet him. You know, he passed before I was born. But everything, you know, from my father and my uncles and you know, my aunt, you know, have relayed. You know, he was a heck of a guy. He was a visionary. You know, first cable company in the state of Florida, the La Concha, the Casa Marina. Back in a time when, you know, my dad would tell you, you know, he could walk up and down Duval Street, you know, at 6 p.m. on a Friday, he'd see 4 people, he knows them all by first name, right?
Right.
I mean, even you couldn't, you know, promote a club in that point in time, right?
For sure.
Right. So it was a completely different time, you know, and so he did see kind of where it was going, which really was just him seeing the beauty of this place.
Nice.
And the beauty of the people, you know, so in connection with those people and what everyone saw, you know, he just saw that it really just was all in on Key West, which we continue to be and will continue to be.
Absolutely. And you know, I love your dad, Big Bill. He taught me the way, and you know, Bill knows, you know, I'm a lot like him, and basically sometimes he'll scream at me, but I'm screaming back or whatever, and this is what it's all about. But he taught me the main motto that we do every day around here. We feed the ducks. Shaking hands and kissing babies. It's hard to shake hands and kiss babies right now, but we still got to feed the ducks. And, you know, people like him that put countless, not only time, but money where his mouth is, and is a friend of the program. He's still, even though he retired, don't get it twisted out there, that man's still the #1 friend of the program. And we couldn't play baseball this year. We had a shot this year, and we'll be back, you know, again next year for the Key West Conch. In case you're watching from anywhere, I just want to let y'all know, once again, Key West Conch baseball, 11 state championships. We're going to get to that in a little bit, talk about when you was out there on the diamond, because you was rough out there. That second base makes some things happen. But I like to get into a little story that your dad told me about President Truman and your grandfather, which is an incredible story. So we talked a little bit off camera, and I'm just going to get into it a little bit and basically share the information. So the way I was told the story is that the president came down to Key West, and he said, hey, I want to listen to my daughter sing opera in New York, but no place down here in Key West, you know, could broadcast that transmission. Who can make it happen? There's a guy named Mr. Spottswood that can make it happen. Let's call him up and see what we could do. So they called him and said, hey, can you make this happen? And he said, yeah, I can make it happen. I think I could do it. So he went, worked on it the whole time. So then that man said he sitting going about his business, and he gets a phone call and said, hold for the president, please. And they said, the president would like you to come to the transmission of his daughter singing at the opera. So he said he pulled up to the little White House, I believe, and everybody's there, Secret Service, all types of people in there. So everybody's listening, everything peaches and cream. And then the broadcast finished, and the president asked Billy's grandfather, said, well, son, how did you enjoy the broadcast? And he said his grandfather took a pause. He said, to be honest with you, he said, I couldn't enjoy it worth a damn. So when he said that, you couldn't hear a pin drop. So the president said, excuse me? He said, yeah, no, I was just thinking that, you know, I had to do all kinds of stuff to make this happen. Cables, red, orange, blue, and, you know, crisscross them all type of way. And then if this stuff didn't work, one of these guys out here, the Secret Service, take me out back, and they'll never find me again. He said when that man said that, I think he was like 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? 21 years old. He said Secret Service, everybody fell on the floor. He said that was the funniest thing ever. So they got so many good stories out there with Truman. What a president, man.
Yeah, well, the background to that, you know, was leading up to it, you know, was when he said he was going to go talk to the president and tell him that he thinks he could broadcast his daughter's recital. And so he went to it, and when he came back, everyone asked it how it went. He said, well, I guess I got to figure out how to broadcast the damn thing, right? And, you know, and I think that speaks to the entrepreneurial spirit, you know, of the community, right? He believed in himself, believed in what they could do, and said, you know what, I'm going to go make it happen. He did, and then he figured it out, thank God, right? To his point, it would have been bad. Basically, it would have been bad if he didn't, right?
What we say on the street is hustling. That man had no idea it was going to happen, but what opportunity came knocking, and he made it happen. Do me a favor, Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the button right here for subscription, and make sure you guys log in and get the notifications on. So like that, when we on, you guys know that the podcast is on and popping. Look, we got that boy Jason Garcia. He was on yesterday. Man, let me tell you, so because you can relate to it. He said anything besides the state championship, the first one in girls softball upcoming year, is a disappointment to the program. And I quote, he said, if they don't make it happen, it ain't on the players, it's on him. How you like that quote?
Who's he got? Are Jill's daughters playing with him?
I'm not sure.
I saw her on here.
I know
they kill it.
Ask him to comment.
Yeah. Who, Jason? I know you told me some of the players we got out there. So just give me a holler. Let me know.
They're that good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. No, they basically are very good, and he said they would have won it this year. But this is what I'm talking about. We got to make it happen, because back in the day, we're going to get into it right now, there was a good old team. Y'all watching from Miami. We bleed 33040. Y'all are 305. We really the bottom, because if you look on the map, it's 90 miles from Cuba. I know Miami, y'all claim the bottom, but factually, we the bottom. We're going to give you all that, but we 33040. So Billy, you came out in what year, Key West High School?
I graduated in 2000, but I first started my first year, 1998.
Okay, so 1998, correct me if I'm wrong. So you a state champ.
That's right.
Okay, so describe this, what kind of mission we had to go through to be a state champion against them Pace Spartans.
So we played them district number 1, beat them.
Right.
District number 2 up there, beat them. Then we played them a third time at the Pepsi National Championship in Boca Raton. We beat them. Khalil Green ripped the second baseman's knee in half.
Really?
Christian Twyman got in a fist fight with the entire team.
Wow.
I tried to help him. A couple other people tried to help him, but that he didn't need any help. You know C-Dog, right?
Yeah.
We played him again in the district. We beat him all 3 of those times. Then we played him in the second round of the districts.
Right. Probably region.
Lost.
Yeah.
Right. So we were 3-1 at that point. So we went in the losers bracket in the state championship. So we were on the road 10 hours, 7 days, 3 different road trips, 10 hours, 30 hours driving up, 30 hours driving back. Won all 3 games, went to the state championship, Tampa, won the semifinal, made it to the state championship game.
Yep.
Monsignor Pace. Again, fifth time.
Fifth time.
Fifth
One
time.
For the state championship game.
5th time, and we beat him, luckily. State championship number 10 for the Conks. Unprecedented until my brother pitched and then won number 11.
Yep.
Right, in 2005.
He actually pitched, didn't he pitch a no-hitter?
He pitched a no-hitter. Wow. I remember you that night. Viv, one of the 2 things I remember from that night when they won state championship was my brother throwing the no-hitter and you yelling at the opposing pitcher, "Hey, is that your arm or a string hanging out your jersey?"
Yeah.
The 2 things I remember from that game. So, it's a culture down here.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Me, my dad, my brother all won state championships.
Yeah.
Key West High.
And another thing that's amazing, too, is one high school, right? No recruiting.
No recruiting.
And basically, we got the most in the state of Florida. So that tells you it's not...
it's a culture.
Yeah, it's basically tells you that no matter where you are, you can make it happen. And in Little Key West, we function on a worldwide level. And I think we was that when we was on ESPN also around that era?
We were. That was, no disrespect to any other time. I'm biased, obviously. The golden era, immediately preceding us, you had Ralphie win his first run, and you had, they won 3 times, I think, in 4 years, and then number 1 in the country, playing, back against Alex Rodriguez, Westminster Christian, and then we came in 198, Cleo Green, probably the best college baseball player of all time, right?
Yep.
And then with my brother, and hopefully we get one soon, man.
Yep.
We need another.
So Khalil Green. So when people don't know who Khalil Green is, would you like to elaborate on that gentleman? Because that boy did it big for Key West, right?
The OG, right?
Yeah.
Of every respect, right?
Yeah.
Khalil Green, the original gangster. He is one of the most original humans that I've ever had the pleasure to interact with. An incredible friend of mine, one of the most unique people, but an amazing baseball player. I mean, his level of focus, his ability to focus on the task at hand and deliver. I mean, we saw what he did at Clemson his senior year, hit like 480, close to 30 home runs, fielding percentage record as a shortstop. Magnificent dude. Magnificent dude. Some we all should be proud of, for sure.
So now, like I told you, we got to keep it blood raw here on the program. Yeah. So now all conch baseball that's coming out here, we got to ask them one hard, crucial question. So we're going you no exception. We're going to give it to you straight up. Best second baseman in the history of Key West High School baseball.
Clearly me.
Okay.
Clearly me. Beat Bobby Lowe. No thank you.
And I know he was going to say, how about Joey Wardlow?
Clearly me. Joey Wardlow, Bobby Lowe, Christian Twyman, Danny DeFabio, they all got to come see me.
Okay. All right. So now once y'all conchs are coming in,
do
y'all think Billy Spottswood is the number one second baseman in the whole world? But listen, we got to get 12 because there's some people catching up, and that is just, people,
that's right.
3,300 people at a baseball game before. This is incredible. And 100%. I say remember the Titans. Before Remember the Titans, I mean, it's just incredible, that atmosphere and that ambiance at the park.
One of my best friends, a guy named Ryan Shealy, he played for Cardinal Gibbons in high school. Ben Harris and I went to University of Florida. Ben played on the baseball team there. I became good friends with a lot of the guys. One of them was Ryan Shealy. He was with Cardinal Gibbons my junior year. That year we won state. He tells a fantastic story. He's a fantastic guy. He played for the Rockies, ended up, amazing baseball player. He tells stories about coming down here, people throwing, everything they can find at him, screaming at him. He said there's no place he would less like to play than Key West.
Right.
And he fully remembers the day we beat him at Cardinal Gibbons in Brooksy.
Yeah.
Drops to the top step, does 3 barrel rolls sideways, and does fake sniper rifle at him and says, got him.
Wow, this is incredible.
So just the respect, even in hindsight, from people that we played against, colleagues of ours across the state, I think is there too, to prove your point.
Yeah, and we talked to Jason about this yesterday. I mean, it's good to come into that hostile environment because like what we're doing, we do a lot of stuff out there. We're very enthusiastic, but we do clean fun. We're not crossing the line disrespectful to people, whatever, and this is what it's all about. And you will be better for it because the stronger competition, the more adversity, and when you go into a place that hostile, when you play stuff that just, basic, you're going to be ready to go, whatever. So a lot of coaches actually want to come. That's why we get these 24, 25 home games out there. And, Ralph Enriquez doing an outstanding job out there. Yep. And like your dad said, this is a famous quote. It used to be, he used to tell me, I changed it up, but he said, these coaches get paid 10 cents an hour, which now is about 5 cents an hour or whatever, because, you're supposed to go up with time and it's not. So I see Michelle Spottswood checked in. There she is. Yeah.
What up, babe? Always says, hi, Daddy. Love Brantley.
Okay.
Brantley Anderson. That's the YouTube channel I'm telling you about.
Okay. All right. So y'all tune into that channel. Go ahead and put it on here, Miss Brantley, and we're gonna make sure that you get subscribed to, because I know you're gonna be big on YouTube. And keep at it. You got to start somewhere. You can't start early enough, right?
No. Hey, you got to, as they say in hockey, which is not, very appropriate for the crowd here, but, you got to skate to where the puck is going, not to where it is. Right. So keep looking forward, man.
Yeah,
looking forward.
1,000,000%. Also, so happy to see our tourists down here. I'm welcoming tourists with open arms or whatever, because these people pay at least my salary. I'm in the entertainment business. We just got back at it, and we've been out since March 17th on St. Patrick's Day, and it's hard. It's hard out here. In Paradise, I mean, we don't want to see nobody working 3-4 jobs to live, but down here it's very tough or whatever. So let's just be nice to people in general, and especially the way the country is right now in shambles. We have to be extra nice, and we got to refocus on what we're doing. So, like I said, just be nice to people. And Billy, going into the subject, to me, I'm gonna keep it blood raw around here. To me, I follow the slogan of vote or die, and I think 2020. How important is it to get young people to vote and really focus on this? Because what would you say to people who say that the vote doesn't matter?
No, I mean, look, everyone's vote matters, and I think everyone has a civic responsibility to educate themselves. So if you get yourself prepared to vote, but educate yourself when you do it. Don't rely on the crowd. Don't rely on your favorite news channel. Do the hard work, educate yourself, understand the issues, and if you don't understand, it's okay. Like I say, every day you wake up, try to be less wrong. Right? Because that's all we can do. We're going to be wrong every day. Try to be less wrong. Yeah. And so if you don't know, that's okay. But try to educate yourself because it's hard to do that these days. It's hard.
For sure.
It's hard.
And also, like, to me, like we was talking off camera, you have to let your voice be heard, and you can't allow injustice. I'm saying
Absolutely.
do not allow any injustice anywhere. If you see an injustice, do whatever you need to do, scream, holler, and basically just, don't allow that, because it takes a lot of courage to stand up. There's 6 people in the room, everybody's saying everything is blue, and you really don't see it blue, but most people don't have the courage to stand up, no, I don't agree that it's blue, I think it's red. And in the business, basically that's critical, because you want that person to say something, don't just sit back, because everybody keeps yesing you, then basically you're not going to go where you need to be.
Yeah, someone who's just going to be a yes man is of no benefit to a process. We all want to have a process. And to each person in their individual capacity, I think to the extent that you can always be true to yourself, try to make confident statements when you feel comfortable having the knowledge that you know enough to speak out and to challenge someone, having the confidence to ask someone a question when you don't know. Say, hey, tell me a little more about that, Louie. I didn't quite understand that. That's totally fine too. But you said the most important thing at the beginning. Don't rely on the crowd. Do not rely on the crowd, because the crowd takes on an identity of its own. Understand the issues, try your hardest, and then be confident to say what you believe to be right, and be empathetic to the other people's position. So I may say what I think is right, but I need to understand that when you say you disagree, that's fine. Let's talk about that, right? Let's figure that out, right? And that's okay, right? You and I can sit here and disagree. We can argue. We can do whatever. That's how it happens in real life. Online, it doesn't happen that way. People just want to, go crazy. So I think be educated, be confident in yourself, and have empathy to your counterpart. That's the thing to do.
Absolutely. And like I said, right at 7 o'clock, we're going in WOW 92.7. So make sure y'all tune in. We all the way live for 9 o'clock, because we have to lift spirits. And like I said, it's been a lot of people down and depressed. This ain't the time. This is the time to go ahead and think positive, because if you think positive things will happen. I see we got a girl, this young lady here, Jessica Craney. She says she's from the class of 2020. 2020.
That's like
Look,
a month ago.
Nicole Munoz checked in.
Nicole,
preach classmate.
2000.
Okay.
We got our 20-year reunion this year. Man.
Okay, so
20-year reunion.
Y'all got to do it big.
Nicole, I saw Jill on there too.
Yeah. Well,
20-year reunion.
Thank you all for coming in.
Her girls, I don't know if they're there yet, but if not, I know they're crushing the softball.
And look at Jessica with the mosquito board doing a great job out there. I had it on the program.
Jill.
Jill. And it's just do what you believe in, and basically just be positive. That's all I can tell you. Let me ask you, there's a lot of stuff talk out there. Like I said, I just talked about tours. I'm trying to shake hands and
talk
kiss
about
babies.
whatever you want.
But
good.
Let me ask you this: can Key West sustain an economy without tourism?
No, you can't. I mean, that's a pretty obvious thing, I think. And maybe I shouldn't preface it that way. At the end of the day, every place, every location, every community has its own economy, right? It has its own economy that operates. You import some things and you export some things, right? And so at some point that has to balance, or else the whole system gets screwed up. And so we import a whole lot of stuff, right? Every time you buy something from Amazon, every time you buy some clothes, every time you buy some produce or some different high quality beef or some things that we just can't do here, we're sending our money that everyone earns out of here and bringing products in. And so we have to offset that in a way. And we're blessed with an environment that's amazing, a culture that is significant and historic, in a place that people love, right? And so what do we export? We export that by inviting people here and saying, come experience this with us. And when you experience it with us, that's our export, right? Absolutely. Our export is to do that, to be good, gracious hosts.
Exactly. Feed the ducks from the...
It's a different way of describing tourism. Tourism gets this negative connotation. We're just hosts. Hosting people here to show off how good our community is.
In the middle of a pandemic, 2,000 people were turned away daily from coming in, right? That's 2,000 people. Now, keep in mind, it's in the middle of a pandemic and still 2,000 people. So we're special down here. This is like when we come to entertainment, right? You know, if you have an artist that's $20,000 to perform, that's their regular rate. Some of them will come down here at a very reduced rate just to experience paradise, because when they do a show in other places or whatever, they're never going to feel, you know, quite like they feel down here because we are special. And like you said, I like what you said is basically people that have come down here, right? They came because they like paradise or whatever. So if you like paradise or whatever, you obviously came because how paradise is and how you felt. So, you know, if it's not broken, let's not try to reinvent the wheel. I mean, we can't go back to 1940, like you said, like when your grandfather was riding around Fort People, right. You're going to be stuck in traffic, if you want to call that traffic. Really, there's no traffic compared to a big city.
No, it's what it is, you know, everything, the framing matters, you know, and really when we invite people here, we're sharing our culture with them.
Right.
But what the stuff that we really like, right? And, you know, for the people that move here, great, you know, we accept everybody, right?
One human family, that's what they're talking about.
Right. In the original One Human Family, you know, before the new slogan came out, back when, you know, we were all, and my dad and his grandfather and everybody down here in Key West, you have no choice but to be one human family, and everyone believes it, right? And so having people come down here is a great thing. And I think all we ask is that when you come down here, respect the people that are here that built the place, the people that have skin in the game, right? And if you don't have skin in the game, you know, if you're not working in the community and you don't have any interest in that, that's okay. We still want you here, but respect the people that do. You know, the fact that we do need a thriving economy for people that own the barbershops and people, you know, that have the corner store and people that have, you know, every other establishment that have, you know, the parties and the nightclubs, everything. One of the things that's been so disappointing to me through the pandemic is this focus on essential businesses. What is an essential business, right? What I tell everyone is for a person to sit there and look at a business as a consumer and determine whether a business is essential or not is completely unfair. Because when you turn the lens around and you look at it from the perspective of the workers in those businesses, every single business is essential.
Right.
Every single one.
That's a good point.
That's how those people live. That's how those people, you know, feed their kids. That's how those people buy, you know, a birthday gift for their kids.
Right.
Every business is essential, and to suggest otherwise is unfair to the community.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. I got Miss Nicole Twyman checking in, said her boy is a sophomore. That boy Rocco, that boy, that's a future conk right there. That boy is serious. So shout out to little Rocco. Thank you, Miss Nicole, for tuning in. So like I said, you know, we're going to keep at it. And some people asking me about Fantasy Fest. So if you want some information on Fantasy Fest, go to Fantasy Fest Celebrity Parties on Facebook, and we're going to let you know what's going on. But right now, you know, it's like the circus, you know, rain, snow, sleet, the show must go on. Right now we on and popping. And like I said, you know, you just got to be safe. And as far as the COVID, basically more tests. We're going to have more positive results. Unfortunately, we got 4 positive results today. That ain't a surprise to me. All you could do is keep doing exactly what you guys been doing. Be safe out there with the mask and boost immune systems like Dr. B tells me. And don't be reckless, but we have to live with the COVID because I don't think a vaccine going to come out this afternoon, tomorrow, or the next day. It is what it is. And if not, the whole economy collapse. If we wait for a vaccine to come out and shut Key West down, there won't be nothing to go back to because we'll be done.
Yeah, you can't do that, you know. And what I think the thing that people need to focus on during this is respectful of our peers, because it's such a complicated situation. You have no idea when a vaccine is going to come. You're right. It could be forever. You know, we have no vaccines to a lot of things. There's no vaccines to HIV. There's no vaccines to many things. And so I think at least the way I approach it is if I have a colleague or a peer or a friend or a family member that is concerned about it, then I need to do everything I can to support them in their concern and do whatever I can to create a safe environment for them. But in the counter to that is if you have folks that aren't concerned about it because they've looked at the data and, you know, with the age brackets and the cohorts of the demographics and everything, and they want to work or they want to go to you know, a bar and share some experiences with their friends, those people shouldn't be shamed for doing that either, right? Give the respect in both directions. And I've defended people in both situations. You know, people that yell at people for not having a mask on, I don't think that's right. People that ridicule someone for wearing a mask, it's not right.
Right.
Let each person make their own decision.
I agree.
And proceed.
I agree. So let me ask you a question. I've been saying Stock Island is the future, but I think we're here now.
We're here.
So people that are looking to invest in Stock Island, you can't go wrong, huh?
You can't go wrong. You know, Stock Island's a beautiful place. It's an absolutely beautiful place, and it's a place I've loved for a long time. You know, my wife, Michelle, my sister-in-law, Jessica, they opened a gym out there, Fit Key West, and they've embraced it, and the community's embraced them.
Okay, and
know,
where's it at?
In a significant way. 5450 McDonald Avenue over there by First State Bank.
Oh, okay.
When we get you in there, man, you're going to
I gotta
start
drop in there. Float like I'll start float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, rumble, young man, rumble.
We got a heavy bag in there. You're good to go. But no, the girls are doing a fantastic job out there, you know, because I think long term, and I'll get back to the larger issue of, I bounce around, of Stock Island, but one of the major takeaways of this pandemic is going to be health. You know, because the people that have fared, unfortunately, in this situation, the people that were already unhealthy.
Right.
And we need to get our community healthy. You know, we love each other, and we want that to happen. And so I think it's a great thing. But Stock Island is a great place. You know, the culture, people follow the culture. You know, so this is something for people to think about, right? You know, when people downtown in Key West, you know, the rents get really high. They can't do it, and the artists go out to Stock Island and the artist shops and different things. You know, the Key West pottery folks, they got a place out there by Michelle's shop. They're the people that create the culture.
To me, Billy, to be honest with you, you have, real estate space, right? Square footage.
Yep.
And Key West, been overloaded, right?
Yep.
So now for the first time in Stock Island, we actually seeing people out there walking around with tourist maps and new things popping up there, different type of business or whatever. Mm-hmm. So if you look at the rent in Key West and you look at Stock Island, like for example, I'm pretty sure somebody said they were going to build a restaurant in the middle of nowhere, the Hogfish, and once you invest with that, they said, man, this guy's got to be out of his mind. Look what they've done there. Yep. So if you build it, they will come. And Stock Island is basically the new Key West. When you run out of real estate in one place, it goes somewhere else, and that's the real laid back atmosphere. You still could find it in good old Stock Island, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's an expansion of what is here, and you're 100% right. It happens over and over. Look, Bobby, what he's done out there, fantastic, right? He's doing it again at Geiger Key, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff, because at the end of the day, people follow the culture and the people that create the great experiences that then synergize and create a good culture. And so if it's unaffordable for the people to do that in a certain area, they'll move to the next area and do it again, which is why I think it's important that we focus on long-term for Key West, making sure that those people, the creative people, the people that create the culture, to be able to live in Key West, because this is the place. In Stock Island, I view Stock Island as Key West, right? So when I say that, it's the same thing, right? It has its own identity. I love it, but in the broader context, one and the same.
And this is the point that I make to my people is you got to be an innovator. You got to be a leader. Don't follow the crowd or whatever. And you got to take risks. No risk, no reward. So in the entertainment business, we don't allow for anybody in our camp to say, oh, this is just Key West. No, you will do this 100%, just like if we're in New York, wherever we at, because you never know who's watching. Like if you're in the lawyer profession, you're just not winging it because you're in Key West, you're trying to be the best lawyer or the best real estate developer that it is, and to get surrounded with people that bring something to the table. So if you're not bringing positive stuff to the table, positive energy, I tell people, drop them. Don't even waste your time, because guess what? You're on borrowed time right now. Anybody could die tomorrow. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to turn up WEOW 92.7 right now. We're all the way live. See, some of y'all don't know how we do it. We do this, and at the same time, we're on the radio. We can't tell you all that, But basically, we all getting it in right now. We're going to 9 o'clock. Thank you, Mr. Billy, for coming through. God bless the family. Stay safe, and go out there and go for the stars. I'll give Bill Gates a run for his money.
I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Good stuff.
So thank y'all for tuning in. FloridaKeysEnergy.com. All love, moped, car, bicycle. If you get in an accident, make sure you check them boys out. And Dr. Burrows at Advanced Urgent Care, Key West Marathon in Key Largo, free. Let me get this perfectly correct. Free COVID-19 testing for everybody. It don't matter what your income is, across the board, and we got the whole Keys covered. So stay out of trouble, do big things, and don't be a follower, be a leader. Holla!